What are out-of-body experiences? It's a fascinating form of paranormal phenomena where essentially the consciousness itself exists outside of the body. People tend to experience these situations, these life events, as I could say, through trauma. They could be through certain hallucinatory means. Some people can do it at will through astral travel, and that's something I'll get into further down the line. My personal experience, when I was about 5 years old, I was in a major accident where I was in quite a bad way. My legs were broken, I couldn't physically move. And at some point during my major operations, I left my body. I assumed it was a dream at the time, but I found that I could walk again. I was standing. I walked the corridors of the hospital that I was staying at the time, and the nurses and the doctors wouldn't respond to me. I saw the different patients in the rooms, and I got to know the layout of the place. Eventually, I met this bizarre entity at the end of this corridor in this storage room, I would say. And it was frightening. It was some vast entity that it felt ancient, like it knew me and knew everything, and it was almost like this overload of information was being flowed through me. Like I could see all over the universe, I could see down the street, I could see inside myself what I really was. And as a little kid, it was horrifying. It was just too much to handle. And I woke up just a moment later and assumed it was just a horrible nightmare. It was just a bad dream. And when I woke up, I realised that I was in casts, I was in pain. It was horrifying, but I knew that I couldn't physically move. And I was that way for quite a few weeks. Over time, I gradually got better, and this wonderful nurse offered to take me on a tour of the hospital. She stuck me into a wheelchair and took me on essentially my first journey I would have had in that body. I knew the entire layout of the hospital. I told her which way to go. I saw the patients I saw in my dream. I saw the doctors. And eventually I found that very little storage room where I met that entity. I then realised that my consciousness existed outside of my body. And that was quite a thing to take in for a 5-year-old kid. And it's something I've been dealing with ever since, even now as an adult. So yeah, it's a fascinating subject to talk about. And to me, it implies maybe that consciousness isn't localized, it isn't in the body. The I isn't here. The I is maybe somewhere else. Maybe it can exist in multiple different places, who knows? So yeah, what do you guys think? And have you had an experience like this yourself? Stay tuned for more interesting facts. Take care.